So today for our warm-up, we're going to be looking at either graphs, tables, or an equation, and our goal is to find the x-intercepts, and our goal is to find the y-intercepts as well, and we're going to look at those as ordered pairs. So let's go ahead and take a look at letter A here. So we're going to start by looking at our x-intercepts. Our x-intercepts are the places where our line or equation or graph crosses the x-axis. So we know that our x-intercepts all have a number for x. Remember, we're looking at x, y, and a 0 for y, because we move across the x-axis, then we freeze. We move 0 up or down. So as you can see here, there's two x-intercepts. Once again, they both have zeros for y's. And I can see this first one is at -1, 0, and this second one is at 3, 0. Okay, we're now going to go ahead and take a look to see if there is a y-intercept. And we know the parabola is our plane, number is our y-intercept. And for our y-intercepts, when we're looking at our ordered pair, we know that when we look at our x, y, we freeze. We didn't move right or left. So that means that our y-intercept has a number for y, and it has a 0 for x. And then we take a look, and that is at 0, -3. Okay? So we have two x-intercepts that cross the x-axis, and we have one y-intercept for our parabola. Okay? Our next one here is a square root function with a starting point. And as you can see, it has one x-intercept. And as you know, an x-intercept has a number for x and a 0 for y. And I can see that is at the point 2, 0. As you can see, my square root function doesn't start until this point, and so it does not have a y-intercept. It does not cross the y-axis. So we're going to go ahead and say that there are no y-intercepts. There's none. Okay, now we're looking at as a table. So once again, this information that we learned up here, we know x-intercepts are when y is 0. So we look and we see all of our spots where y is 0. And those are going to be all of my x-intercepts. And I'm just going to write them down as ordered pairs, and they're already set up for me. So I have -3, 0, -1, 0, and finally 1, 0. So I have 3 of those. And as you can see, our x-intercept, our x-intercepts have a number for x, a 0 for y, and once again, our y-intercepts are the reverse. They have a 0 for x and a number for y. So we're going to take a look at when our x is 0, and there's just one y-intercept. And so we know that our y-intercept is the ordered pair 0, 2. Okay? Now, our very last one here is an equation. So what we're going to do is follow these same rules. So for my first one, I want to go ahead and plug in 0 for y, because I know if I have a 0 for y, that's going to be my x-intercept. So that gives me 5x is equal to 40. Divide both sides by 5. And 40 divided by 5 is 8. So I know my ordered pair is going to be a number for x, that's 8, and a 0 for y. Okay, we can set up our answer for our y-intercept. Our y-intercept is when our x is 0. So we're going to go ahead and solve this, but we're going to make x 0. And that gives us -2y is equal to 40. Divide both sides by -2. And we have y is equal to -20. And so taking a look at that final problem for this equation, which as you can see has an x and a y, so it's the equation of a line. We know it has an x-intercept of 8, 0, and a y-intercept of 0, -20.